It should be delta function, right? Correlation must be delta function. Because the Fourier transform of this is equal to 1, right? So, if there is a signal which has a property, the autocorrelation function is equal to a delta n function, and then the spectrum of that will be a constant spectrum with amplitude equal to 1. In general, I can even make this constant as sigma x square. This becomes sigma x square. So, the height here is sigma x square. Are you with me? So, this is the idealized model of the x omega x of n, which is some process. A name is given for such a process, we call it as a white noise. The word noise comes because the random signal, and the white comes because the spectrum is constant for all values of omega, and the white word has been taken from optics, that white light is supposed to be having all frequencies from 0 to infinity, theoretically, which is not true. White light doesn't have that kind of a spectrum, but is assumed to be having a constant spectrum. So, we carry the word from there and we call it a white noise. So, if I have a white noise as the input to the system, then I can get any spectrum at the output by properly tailoring the value of Hj omega square. So, if I put the right black box here, which will be such that this mod square is the correspond to the spectrum of the desired y, then I am able to generate such a process. So, such a black box will be inputted with a so called white noise. Although theoretically we do not have, as I said, white noise like this, but as long as the bandwidth is big enough to cater for the bandwidth that possibly exists in the whole system, this, as far as I am concerned, is a white noise. So, there have been lot of efforts to generate this kind of a noise. How do we generate this white noise first? Fortunately, in analog continuous signals, the noise that is normally generated in electronic circuits turns out to be white noise by and large. White noise in the sense is almost flat up to IR or beyond IR. So, as far as our electronics is concerned, we can assume it to be flat for all the band which we are really interested. But if you are operating in optical frequencies, very high optical frequencies, you need to worry about the droop of this characteristic. But in most of the electronic circuits, even up to beyond microwaves and even IR and all this, the spectrum is almost flat. So, if you have a source like that, I can use it as the input to that after sampling it. And such source is given by a simple resistor. The voltage across the resistor, the noise generated by the resistor because of thermal agitation inside has a spectrum which is constant at least to very large values of frequency. So, if I put such a noise here and design this Hn in such a manner that Hj omega square is equal to the spectrum which I desire, then I will be able to generate any arbitrary noise of characteristic having a Syy omega. So, what is the counter problem? Counter problem is, if I am given this and I am assuming this is white noise, somehow I get a white noise and drive it with this, then what is left for me is to find out this function. This function happens to be a mod square function, right? From the mod square function, I must break it up into this, whatever we have written earlier, this, right, because this is what is given, and this function is nothing but j omega into h minus j omega. So, given this modular square function, I must be able to find out what is the one of the functions which is a realizable function. How do we do this? It is very simple. H j omega square is actually h e to the power of j omega into h e to the power of minus j omega. Look, minus j omega from e to the power of j omega, which is nothing but h of z into h of 1 by z, where z is equal to e to the power of j omega. Right? How we actually found out e to the power of j omega? We found the z transform and substituted z is equal to e to the power of j omega. So, there is nothing but hz into h1 by z. So, if I can somehow break this function in terms of hz and h1 by z, h1 by z will correspond to poles in what? Remember your S-plane. In S-plane, the allowed realizable functions are poles in the left top plane and no poles in the right top plane. By this transformation of the z, we said that left top plane poles will be going into inside of the unit circle, and the right top plane goes to unit poles in the out of the unit circle. So, this corresponds to poles in the inside of the unit circle, and this corresponds to poles in the outside of the unit circle. So, you really pick up those poles inside the unit circle, outside the unit circle, and take out only those poles inside the unit circle, which will give you a realizable Hz. This is called a spectral factorization. People call it spectral factorization because this is given and you are factorizing the spectrum. So, it is a very fundamental result in signal theory, random signal theory, how to do this spectral factorization. If you remember, we found out that any transfer function h of z, which is the z transform of h of n, will be a ratio of two polynomials. We agreed on that because any difference equation between the output and the input will be always transferred into z plane as equal to ratio for two polynomials in z, numerator polynomial, denominator polynomial. So, which we said Pz by Qz. Since this is mod square of this, if there is a 0 here, the 0 will also be accompanied by 0 corresponding to this. That means, wherever there is a 0 here, say at z is equal to zi is a 0, at z is equal to I, if there is a 0, in either this or this, there should automatically be a 0 for 1 by z also. So, this should correspond to 1 by z also must have a 0. because it is hz into h 1 by z. So, wherever z occurs have 0, 1 by z also must have the same 0, either in numerator or denominator. Now, if you take terms corresponding to 1, 0,